Last week you kind of ran down all the tight ends that you were feeling good about the depth in the room that you had. When you put them on the field, how much versatility and flexibility do you guys have formationally with them, the different strengths that they bring to the table?
We feel like a lot. The way I've tried to approach it, and I just talked to Bart about that coming off the field, and I talked to the tight ends after today's practice. When I talk to them about a play, I generally talk about the play conceptually as the whole picture, because I want them to understand that they they could be a play side tight end, they could be a backside tight end, they could be a fullback lined up in one of 3 or 4 places. They also, we called a play out there today that maybe was meant for 11 personnel. We had 12 in there. I explained to them, I'm not even paying attention to that. If it's 12, I expect you to go there in a slot and understand that too. So I'll get back to your question in that we're trying to create depth. If you don't have a long list of players, what you do is you try to make sure that the list of players you do have know how to do several different things. So that's the way we approached it, and they've done a good job with that. The older they are, the better they've done, but Cam and Brendan they're starting to get it.
Yeah, I was going to say there could be some difficulty when you're putting them in all different spots, and obviously that's good in the long run, but it seemed like there could be some growing pains in the short term with lining up in different spots, knowing all those responsibilities.
I'd rather grow in April, and that's what we're doing right now. No question, we do. We understand that there's going to be growing pains when you do that, but I think you do 2 things. One is you create the depth, just like we talked about. The other thing is you make better football players. You're going to realize how you're playing a play on the line of scrimmage as a Y if you understand what the F is doing behind you. I mean, you're just going to. You'll be a better football player. Protections. I mean, how are you going to understand your protection if you don't see the big picture? If I'm the F and I understand I've got the Mike on that protection, and I'm the Y and I've got the Sam, it all starts coming together. So I've been happy with the way they've embraced that. But once again, I'll go back to what I said last week. You got veterans, excuse me, you got veterans like Mike and Bart that have been really, really helpful with those young guys in there.
Charlie, Derek has talked in the past about tight end position being very complex. How complex is it? How tough is it for guys to learn?
Well, I spoke about that a little bit last week. It is complex for a couple different reasons. One is where all they can line up, and that's what I was just talking about just now. I mean, they can really line up anywhere on the field, and they could even line up outside. I mean, as the furthest outside receiver if we wanted them to. That's the one thing. The second thing is that they're involved in every aspect of the offense. In other words, they are involved in the run game, obviously, and you would be surprised at the number of tight ends that may not be so involved lining up next to a tackle in the run game. These guys are lined up next to a tackle in the run game. They're lined up in the backfield in the run game, in a slot, or in a wing, but they're heavily involved in the run game. The next thing is protections. Okay, we don't, a lot of people will line their tight ends up out and they won't protect with them. Our guys protect. They also protect on the line of scrimmage, in a wing position, in the backfield. And then obviously the third thing is the routes. And that gets to all these positions, and they run unique routes a lot of times. And there's only so many minutes in practice, so you've got to work all those things. And sometimes I have to farm them out. I'll farm them out to Coach Graham, and he'll work on the running back stuff. And I'll farm them out to Coach Pittman, he'll work on the pass protection. So yeah, I think as a tight end coach, as a tight end, that's just part of what you do.
How important is it that, given all of that, maybe a guy like Rivera leads by example and very early on buys in?
Critical, but they do. The hard part is the mental part, knowing what you're going to do. We just addressed that. But the fun part is that I don't line up. I'm not lining up in the same spot every day, doing the same thing over and over again. Now, obviously, as a coach, I'm looking for reps anytime I can get it. But these guys, they look at the script each day and what's coming at them. I mean, it's a hodgepodge sometimes, and so I think it makes it fun. I really do, and I think they enjoy and embrace. Most good tight ends I've been around enjoy the fact that the offense is really dependent on them knowing what to do.